Radical.
There once was a holy trinity, the holy trinity of Xbox franchises: Halo, Gears of War, and Forza. These three exclusives pretty much make up most people's opinion of what the Xbox brand is. Now, there are other good game series on the Xbox, but through the years, people point to Gears, Halo, and Forza. Some versions and releases better than the others, but those are the three big reasons I think a lot of people gets Xbox hardware. That holy trinity is no more. It has been broken up. That exclusive holy trinity of games you could only get on Xbox consoles. Now you can get Forza very soon this spring on a PlayStation system. It's coming to PlayStation 5. And, well, I would say that was shocking. But a lot of people are not really shocked by this. If you have read the tea leaves, if you have paid attention to what people like Phil Spencer have said, specifically the statement, we really don't think there's any red lines going forward when it comes to exclusives. That means Forza 5 going to PlayStation is going to be a commonplace thing, especially the fact that Sea of Thieves in particular has been a huge hit. This is just the beginning, folks. This is not the end. Because Forza Horizon 5 is probably going to do great business on the PlayStation. What's going to be really funny, though, is if some of these games actually sell more on the PlayStation than they did originally on the Xbox. Now, some people might say, well, this is a win for Microsoft. It's only jaded fanboys that care that the Xbox exclusives are going to be going over to another console. But being a person that is looking at the positives and negatives of this, I'm going to say that if you are lessening the need to buy an Xbox every single bit by putting your exclusives on a PlayStation, then it's only going to further lower the hardware sales of an Xbox. There's really no way I'm thinking this could increase hardware sales of the Xbox by putting it on a PlayStation, unless they think that is a poison pill, kind of. Like, if PlayStation gamers start to get a taste of playing Xbox games on their system, they're not going to run and stop playing on PlayStation, but they might pick up an Xbox and get into their ecosystem. I mean, if you play Forza Horizon 5, which is a game that came out several years ago, and you've only got to play Gran Turismo, and you say, damn, this is a much better racing game, then the idea Microsoft has is maybe those PlayStation gamers might get an Xbox to get the newest version of Forza. What if an older game like Halo, the Master Chief Collection, goes over to PlayStation 5, and then the people that play that think, well, maybe we want to play some newer type Halo games. You see, it's kind of like a bit of a poison pill, or let's say, well, not even a Trojan horse, because this is not going to be a move that takes down PlayStation at all. But I'm just trying to get behind the thought that Microsoft is having here with this strategy. Could just be money. They need money because they spent all this money acquiring Activision, Blizzard, and all this, and they want to become profitable. And they figured, well, everyone that's got an Xbox already has an Xbox, so now we have to go over to the competition and try to entice them with Xbox type games. But it's a weird strategy to have because you're lessening what an Xbox actually is. I mean, they're in full mode of lessening what the Xbox hardware is. Of all the winners here, and there are some winners, Microsoft is winning because the more PlayStation gamers buy a Forza, then that's money in their pockets. So that's a win. PlayStation gamers, they're winning because they get one of the better Xbox games. And for people that have an Xbox and a PlayStation, well, let's say you have an Xbox, your friend has a PlayStation. Well, you can do cross play. That's a big positive. Cross play between the systems. That's pretty damn cool. But if you have mostly gotten Xbox hardware, prefer Xbox hardware, prefer the controller, and you don't really deal with a lot of PC gaming, then the biggest loser here is the Xbox hardware itself and the people that love Xbox hardware and prefer that over PlayStation hardware. Microsoft is going to keep making games. For some people thinking that this is a weak move and that they're I don't even know if there's anyone out there. You'd probably think there's some PlayStation fanboys out there that are saying, "Oh, Microsoft, this is such a weak, pathetic move, and they're not even gonna be making any hardware in the future, and they're desperate to get their games onto PlayStation. They're making money, and as long as Microsoft keeps making Xbox hardware and they keep supporting Xbox hardware, then there's going to always be a segment of people that are just going to get Xbox hardware. And for whatever reason, they don't have an interest in getting PlayStation. But that's going to be less than half, I would say. Because right now, you have a proposition to where if this really goes well, and I have no reason to believe it's not, if Microsoft is smiling and Sony's smiling and everyone's making money, then what's to stop them from putting every Xbox exclusive console game, every game on PlayStation? What's to stop that from happening? No red lines, right? There's a new Gears of War coming out. What happens if that releases day one on a PlayStation also? No red lines. I think at this point, the biggest thing you can hope for to actually hold on to some kind of possibility that if you get an Xbox, then other people, other fans of the Xbox might say, well, that a game like Gears might not be exclusive day one, might be exclusive timed. Because if you think this is going to be the end of it, and no, it's not, it's just the beginning. Forza is the beginning. That's the breaking of the Holy Trinity. That is the wall. Halo, Forza, and Gears was the wall. I think a lot of people were perfectly okay with it if, let's say, Sea of Thieves goes over to PlayStation, or some lesser type titles. But if you're a hardcore Xbox guy or girl, then it's hard to not see this as a kind of a weak move of waving the white flag and basically admitting that you are no longer in competition with PlayStation whatsoever. And PlayStation is running away with it this generation. So maybe they saw there was no way they could compete, which is weird because they spent all this money to acquire all these studios, and a lot of people were pounding their chest on the side of Xbox saying, yeah, Sony, you got no games. We got all the games. Look at all that we got right. Well, it's kind of funny and awkward if those same people that are pounding their chest, the hardcore console fanboys, if all those games are now going over to PlayStation, then yeah. So I'm trying to personally look at it from many different perspectives here. And I'm looking, like I said, the winners and losers. Who wins? Weirdly, most people win here. Who loses? Mostly the loyal Xbox fans that have supported Xbox, exclusively supported Xbox through several decades now. Several decades. And never bought PlayStation hardware. And now we're thinking to themselves, why was I loyal to Xbox now? Why am I loyal to my lady? Why am I loyal to my woman? She's out there giving it away to the neighbor. I thought she was exclusive to me. But crossplay on Horizon Zero 5, that Horizon 5. I almost said Horizon. You know what it is? I got my Horizons mixed up. Horizon Dawn And Forza Horizon, hey, how about this? How about this? Hey, Sony, how about you send over the original Horizon to Xbox people? How about that? Is there any back and forth here, or is this just a one-way relationship? Is Phil Spencer going to go to Sony and be just waiting at the door like, listen, you know, we've been sending you a lot of these games here, and we just want a crumb. We want something for the Xbox hardware, something for our guys. So possibly with Phil Spencer waving the white flag here, and Microsoft pretty much open to not only sending games over to PlayStation 5, but also the Switch 2. I heard Halo Master Chief Collection might be going over to Switch 2. Then could there be an opening of some of their exclusives coming over to the Xbox hardware? Is this like a move preemptively to start the negotiations or something like that? How about this? Maybe like a older God of War game. Maybe a collection of some of the older titles from PS2, PS3, something like that. Maybe you might see some of those on an Xbox system. And maybe this could be used as a way to kind of promote the other system or the other systems or the other brand, basically. Think about it. If this was a way of promotion, it could be really sneaky on the part of Microsoft. And temporarily, you really hurt the sales of the hardware currently and the future hardware because it gives you that impression that there's no reason to buy Xbox hardware really because all the games are going over to PlayStation, other than, let's say, if you prefer the Xbox controller and the interface and the system itself for whatever reason. But exclusives are the main reason people look at that. It's a hell of a proposition to be able to play Forza, Gears, and Halo on a PlayStation along with their exclusive games. That's a hell of a proposition. But I keep thinking, what if there's something that we don't know about, something that Microsoft is kind of up to here? And it's an idea of kind of an invasion of the PlayStation ecosystem